What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 9 different crypto stocks today. We're going to talk about Microstrategy. Yes, I'm considering Microstrategy a crypto stock. It's basically correlated to Bitcoin these days. Microstrategy for Calais or Kale or Cali, I don't know how you'd pronounce it, but one of those has to be right. Riot and BTBT for Birdman, CRCW for Mark, Black Fox, Cores for Kale or Calais again, Wolf for I Think You Should Go, Iren, CleanSpark, and Marathon for Dr. Bob. 9 different charts. Let's get into it now. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more. MicroStrategy had a bit of a sell-off. Yes, it did. It might go a little bit lower. You're sitting at about 1,600 now. I could see it going down to about like 1,500, 1,520. Maybe not even that low, but just a little bit lower to start the week off next week and then up. I'm not worried about this at all. I do not believe that this is some kind of grand triple top, quadruple top, whatever you want to call it, however unlikely that would be, like 1, 2, 3, I suppose, a triple top. But you've like hit it 3 times in the last 3 days, the 786. So really, it's like technically it's not. I don't know. If you look at it on a 3-hour basis, like that's not a triple top. I mean, I guess you could kind of divulge that, I suppose, but I wouldn't call it that. I don't think you're going to reject this area and go down tremendously. A little bit, sure. Your 618's at 1540. Perhaps that's where you go. Perhaps you turn around immediately next week. Either way, whatever it looks like over the weeks, over the months, you're moving up to 2,400 and beyond. So perhaps you move down 50 bucks, 90 bucks starting out next week, but I think you're going to move up. I'm not worried about it at all. As far as when are you going to move up to this area, I don't know. Nobody knows. It could be weeks, right? It could be sometime later this month. It could be 2 weeks from now, next week, whatever. You know, it could be 3 days from now. I don't know. It could be in July, but inevitably, yes, I think it's going to move up. It just perhaps might move down a little bit starting out next week. Riot is the next one. Riot platforms. I actually made a video just a second ago, you guys, and I didn't check just now, but the volume was off, so I had to restart it. But I made it all the way to Wolf, so there might be some predetermined outcomes on here. Yeah, I think this is going to move up inevitably. Riot, I do think you're moving up to about 14.50 to 17 and 20 cents, 17 and 10 cents, whatever, somewhere in that area. That's where I think you're going. Same thing as MicroStrategy. If you move down from here, it's going to be a little bit. I'm not too worried about it at all. You know, I think if you were to move down, you're at 972. I don't think that you're going to go below 920. So that's Riot. Up nonetheless. You know, whatever you do over the coming days, over the coming weeks, I think you're moving up above 14 bucks, maybe even 17 bucks. That's Riot. BTBT. Talking about this one. From relative high to low, daily RSI looks phenomenal. Price action looks decent. You could move down a little bit too, but if you look at this for what it is, right, looks like you're at the point where you would find a low in this kind of trend that you're in right now. So I'm not too worried about it. Yes, you sold off 7% to end the week, but you know, you've done that before. Right here, actually on a Thursday, not on a Friday, but you know, you've dumped off before and then had a recovery right in this like similar area based on this higher low trend that you've got going on, right? If you had an imaginary line going up right here, this is essentially where you'd find your low. If I'm wrong on that, you know, perhaps you go a little lower, 261, maybe you go to 250, maybe 245, but probably not much lower, guys. Like 10 to 15 cents at the most, if that even. Inevitably, I think you're working your way up to this 618, 69 area. That's going to be at about $3.50 to $3.75. We'll see you there over the coming weeks. BTBT, CRCW. You guys hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Just a little friendly reminder. You know, generally speaking, because I did do this already, right? I would look at this. I would have this kind of look, relative low to relative high. Rejecting the 382 and having your second interaction with the 618, that's not a good look normally, and I would expect at least the 786 to 886, if not further down. And you could do that. You could break out of this price action, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. Personally, I think you're going to hold this price action. I think you're going to hold this structure, and you're going to move up. You're going to break out to the upside. Generally, with the fibs, that's kind of the look I would expect, that you would move down. But the daily RSI, or sorry, the weekly RSI looks somewhat productive. It is still weak, to be fair, but it is at an area where you could see a very positive bounce, not just in the RSI, not just in the relative price action, but also on the fib right there at the 618. That would be a very key area to bounce from. So I think you will. I think if you go down, it's going to be a minuscule amount as well, and probably have a nice recovery next week going into the next few weeks. And then who knows, man, maybe sometime this month we break out. Perhaps it's next month that we break out, but soon, very, very soon, you're going to be, I mean, it probably not even, I guess you could, yeah, it could go into next month. It could go into next month that you're still range bound, but you're going to move sideways for a little bit, and then you're going to break out, and it's going to be phenomenal probably. But for the time being, just boring. Maybe a little bit of you're at 0.0014. I can't see you going below 0.0012, and even if you do, I mean, 0.001 to 0.0011 is where you would go. That's not that far away from here, so potentially lower, but I just don't see that happening. Anyways. Cores, right, because that was CRCW. Core Scientific, man, what a week it had. It was up essentially 64%. You are at a point, I'm just going to redraw these fibs because I know what they're saying, right? From the all-time high prior to this week to the low that you double bottomed off of, you're at the 1272 to the 1414 area. This is a totally suitable area to find a high. If we look at the daily, it looks like a tweezer top, in my opinion, right? That absolutely looks like a tweezer top right there. We could immediately see some price action to the downside. Fill this gap down here, whatever, at the 886, 100 level, somewhere between about $6.10 and $5.50. That makes sense to me, somewhere in this area, and then move up from there. Perhaps you're not done moving up. Perhaps you have to go to the 1618 all the way up at 1031, and then you see some kind of move down. But there's more than just this fib kind of showing that you are at an area that would make sense to top out. If we take the high of this consolidation range to the low of that consolidation range, based off this move, you've actually hit the 2272 as well. So that's a deep extension, kind of a common area to turn around at and just like check back for support. So I would expect at least $6.66, but that just doesn't fit. That's in this realm of nothingness on this fib. So genuinely, I think 610 to 550 is where it's going to go, down from here and then up. If I'm wrong and it goes up from here and then down, it'll still likely go below these levels, but we'll see. Time will tell. Even if I'm wrong, I would assume that you'd still be able to get in back around these prices, if not lower. So is it a good time to sell? I don't think so. It's early in the cycle. Is it a good time to buy? Probably not. You just moved up 63%, but I do think it will provide better times to buy. It's not me saying it's a good time to sell, because you never know if it could do this as well. I would just say wait. If you're looking to sell or looking to buy, just wait. Buy more down here. Certainly don't sell down there if it goes down there, but I think 550 to 610 is where it's going to go. If it goes lower, perhaps it goes to like $5 itself, but I kind of doubt that. Anyways, that's cores. I think this thing's going to do well, guys. I think this past week is showing that there's something going on. Look at all that volume, right? This is a $1 billion stock market cap wise, 1.38 billion. Like that's somewhat significant in my opinion. Consolidated, accumulated, breaking out, you're just getting started. So you've got more to go for sure, week to week, month to month, but just in the short term, immediate term, you might pull back, back test your breakout point and then go. It's very common. So common to do, right? 610 to 550 is the range. That weekly high open, the weekly open was at 555. So 555, I said 550 to 610, right? I mean, that fits right within that range too. So anyways, Wolf, this is the one I ended on. Yeah, so there's no data there. Looking like you're breaking out. Wolf had a good week. Whoa. Everything else was finishing off the week poorly. And Wolf, I guess you had a little bit of a down day, but really good week. That's a breakout, guys. You are at the beginning of a breakout. Wolf, you are just getting started. You broke out of your consolidation phase. What a week you had, 41.7% to the upside. Nice, good to see. Good call on requesting this one. I think you should go. Good call. High to low. This is just the beginning, guys. Right? Absolutely just the beginning. Now I say that you're at $3.09. Could you pull back all the way down to like $2.50? Sure. Still be fine. Still have been broken out and continuing to break out. This move, you guys, I want you to know, it's not done here. It's going to be done up in this area, okay? Between $6 and $10.28. You're at $3.09 now. We've got at least 100% growth, if not more, dramatically more, right? Ahead of us over the coming weeks and coming month and a half, 2 months, something like that. Like in a very short amount of time, you guys, by the end of the month of June, you could be 100% higher than you are now, or more than that. Certainly by the end of July, you could be up there. Looking good on your weekly RSI. Man, Wolf, you're looking fierce. Daily RSI looks good too. I will say rejecting your 886 is kind of a common thing. You might look back to find support right at your 786 at about 291, perhaps all the way down at your 69 or 618. I just don't think you'd go back down that low because you've broken out, but I suppose you could go all the way back down to like 226 if you really, really wanted to. But yeah, seeing a small turnaround. It's not uncommon. I don't know, man. He might just break through. Expect good things from Wolf in the short term, man. If it goes down from here, it's the same old song and dance with the rest of them, right? It's going to go down a little bit, but this one might be the winner, man. This one looks like it's got the most potential in the shortest amount of time. As far as like the whole cycle, no. I just mean like over this month of June. Right now, out of all of them, this one looks really good. Get your call options in order for Wolf, man. This one it's looking fierce. Iren is next. I did not do this one, so I don't know why it's all drawn. I don't know why that started happening. TradingView used to not save it. Is it autosave is off, so I don't know. Very similar look to Wolf, but in a weekly format, right? I guess this was a weekly format. I just meant like this part here this week versus like all this for Wolf on the daily. It kind of looks like that. I don't know. Anyways, Iren breaking out right now. Absolutely it is. With that volume and everything, that's a breakout move. Not the best day, but hey, actually the only one so far to finish with a green day on Friday. Kind of at a double top area in your RSI. It's also an area that you've topped off several times, right? So you might have a relative, a momentary high, sure, and that's okay. It's a bit of a weird range, kind of strange what you're doing, strange behavior. To make it even more strange, you're probably not even going to see your 1272. Perhaps you do. Perhaps next week you open up at like 1272 and then move down. I don't know. I would expect you interact with 969 to 864 or lower. You could go as low as 660, anywhere and everywhere in this range. But I'm thinking specifically 860 to 970. You're at 1053 now, so a little bit of a pullback and then up. I don't think the move's done here. I think, right, you just broke out, you're just getting started, but you might pull back real quick to start off next week, to finish off next week even. So expect that. Expect a pullback. You're at 1053. Expect a pullback that could be anywhere from about like $1 down, $2 down, more, something like that. Iren. CleanSpark. It hasn't moved, you guys. It has not moved. What a day. Tons of volume. Isn't that crazy, right? Like, you got a day that closed 4.5% to the downside, right? You've seen this day here was, I said 4.5, yeah, 4.6, let's call it. This day here was 2.6%. That day was about 4%, similar. This one here was 7%. Look at just like how much less volume there was on the 7% one on these similar day ones, but this one has a lot of volume. But I guess you have a big wick up here. You just didn't do anything with it. You got your volume, you got your fuel, but where'd you go? You didn't do anything with it, right? Like it doesn't to me tell me that you're going to go lower, right? As intimidating of a candle as that might seem, it doesn't really scare me. I'm not too phased, right? You had one kind of, I don't know, maybe that's not a good one to look at actually. That one right there in comparison to that, hey, more down, but probably not. You could move down CleanSpark. You could. I don't think you're going to, but you could move down to those original areas that I'd been talking about for most of this consolidation. You could. I think, however, you're going to break out to the upside. I really do. I'd be surprised if you went below 12 bucks. I'd be surprised if you moved anywhere really too far down from where you are now. I think soon you're going to break out and you're going to make your way up to about 30 bucks, 36 bucks, somewhere in that zone. So, yeah, I'm going to stand by that until it happens. If I'm wrong, well, we will see that come to life when prices are below about 15 bucks there. So, until then, I feel safe in SAFU. CleanSpark, Marathon. Let's finish this up. Marathon Digital Holdings. Again, I didn't draw on here. I don't know why it's like that, but Marathon pulled back just a little bit, probably at the right area to find support at. You're probably going to move up from here. I would assume so. Relative high to low, 382 area. Yeah. RSI is above the 50, looking like it's finding support, kind of maintaining this higher low structure. I mean, that's not the best drawn line, is it? But something like that. I don't know. It's not perfect, but you can kind of see, right? It's in this like upward trajectory. Not the best line there on the bottom. I don't know why I can't, but I don't know. Right here, it would make sense to find support, in my opinion, on the 50 of the weekly RSI. I mean, you did it before. Yes, it sent you down, but I think you've actually found your low since then. Daily is weird. It's a really that's a weird look on the RSI. The daily and the 3 hour kind of suggests you'd be near a low as well, but the daily would suggest you go lower. I just don't think you go too much lower, man. Did you even hold this? No, kind of, but no. Yeah, I don't think you go too much lower. You're at 1927 now. I mean, I would doubt that you break below like 1830. Yeah. Maybe not even that low. I mean, that could have been your low, man. You're going to turn around soon. All in all, if I really had to give it a next target, stop beating around the bush. You're at 1927. Your next target's at 43 bucks, potentially 58 bucks or beyond, right? So whatever downside we have to worry about in the immediate terms, it's going to be very insignificant compared to the upside that's coming over the weeks and months. So I don't know. That's all I got. The one that definitely catches my attention as far as like what's going to do the best in the shortest amount of time is Wolf. Surprisingly enough, I would have thought it would be Iren. And they do look similar, don't they, right? But Wolf definitely stole the spotlight. So that's all I got, guys. If you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for being here. Iren definitely did well, man. I think this one's going to do well as well. But anyways, guys, Wolf, shout out to I think you should go. You're the one that won tonight, so congratulations. Bye-bye. See you guys on the next one.